The term serial killer evokes a chilling sense of dread. It is a term that sends shivers down the spine and conjures up images of unspeakable horror. The very mention of it can make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It conjures images of notorious figures like Jack the Ripper, whose reign of terror remains unsolved, leaving a legacy of fear and mystery that has persisted for over a century. The foggy streets of Whitechapel, the shadowy figure slipping away into the night, these are the haunting images that come to mind. And then there is Ted Bundy, whose charisma masked a heart of darkness. Bundy, with his disarming smile and seemingly normal demeanor, was able to lure countless victims to their doom. His case is a stark reminder that evil can often wear a friendly face. These individuals, driven by motives often as perplexing as they are horrifying, commit acts that defy our basic understanding of humanity. The complexities of their actions and the depths of their depravity are subjects of endless study and speculation. But what exactly defines a serial killer? What are the criteria that set them apart from other types of criminals? This question has been the focus of much debate and research. The FBI defines serial murder as the unlawful killing of two or more victims by the same offender or offenders in separate events. This definition, while straightforward, encompasses a vast and complex phenomenon that is not easily understood. This definition, while simple, encompasses a vast and complex phenomenon. Serial killers operate in a world that is both familiar and alien to us, navigating the same streets and neighborhoods, yet driven by impulses that are utterly foreign. Serial killers are not a homogeneous group. They come from all walks of life, from different backgrounds, cultures, and socioeconomic statuses. There is no single profile that fits all serial killers. They come from all walks of life, from the most unassuming professions to the most prestigious. Some are drifters, while others hold down steady jobs and maintain seemingly normal lives. They possess varying levels of intelligence, from the cunning and highly intelligent to those with below-average IQs. This diversity makes it even more challenging to predict and identify potential serial killers, and they exhibit diverse methods and motives. Some kill for pleasure, others for power, and still others for reasons that remain inscrutable. Their methods can be as varied as their motives, ranging from meticulous planning to impulsive acts of violence. What unites them is a chilling detachment from human life, and an uncanny ability to blend in, often appearing disturbingly normal. This ability to mask their true nature is what makes them so dangerous and difficult to apprehend. They are the monsters hiding in plain sight, their true nature concealed behind a carefully constructed facade. They walk among us, unnoticed, until their horrific deeds come to light. Understanding the psychology of these individuals is a daunting yet crucial task. It requires delving into the darkest corners of the human mind, seeking to understand what drives someone to commit such heinous acts. For it holds the potential to unlock the secrets of their motives and ultimately aid in the prevention of future tragedies. By studying their patterns, behaviors, and psychological makeup, we can develop strategies to identify and stop them before they strike again. This knowledge is not just academic. It is a vital tool in the fight to protect innocent lives from those who would do them harm. The age-old question of nature versus nurture takes on a particularly chilling dimension when considering the minds of serial killers. Are these individuals shaped by their environments, or is there something inherently different about their biology that predisposes them to commit such heinous acts? Could a predisposition towards violence be etched into our very DNA, passed down through generations like a sinister family heirloom? This question has intrigued scientists and psychologists for decades, leading to numerous studies and debates. Some researchers believe that biological factors do play a role, albeit a complex and often indirect one. They argue that while genetics alone cannot determine one's fate, they can create a foundation upon which environmental influences build. Studies have shown that abnormalities in brain structure and function, particularly in regions associated with impulse control, empathy, and emotional regulation, are more common in violent offenders, including serial killers. These abnormalities can manifest as reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex or structural differences in the amygdala, which is involved in processing emotions. For example, damage to the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center responsible for decision-making and moral reasoning, has been linked to increased aggression and a lack of remorse. This area of the brain helps us weigh the consequences of our actions and make ethical choices. And when it is impaired, individuals may struggle to control their impulses. Furthermore, imbalances in neurochemicals like serotonin and dopamine, which play crucial roles in mood regulation and reward pathways, have also been implicated in violent behavior. These chemicals help regulate our emotions and responses to stimuli, and when they are out of balance, it can lead to erratic and sometimes dangerous behavior. Low levels of serotonin, often associated with depression and impulsivity, have been found in some serial killers. Serotonin is known to influence mood, anxiety, and aggression, and deficiencies in this neurotransmitter can result in heightened irritability and a propensity for violent outbursts. Meanwhile, an overactive dopamine system, linked to pleasure-seeking and addiction, may contribute to the compulsive nature of their crimes. Dopamine is often referred to as the reward chemical because it reinforces behaviors that are perceived as pleasurable. In the context of serial killers, an overactive dopamine system might drive them to repeatedly seek the thrill of their violent acts. Historical cases of infamous serial killers often reveal a combination of these biological factors. For instance, many of these individuals had troubled childhoods marked by abuse or neglect, which could exacerbate any pre-existing neurological vulnerabilities. The interplay between genetics and environment is crucial in understanding the making of a serial killer. While genetic predispositions can set the stage, environmental factors such as upbringing, social influences, and traumatic experiences often act as catalysts that trigger violent behavior. It's also important to note that not everyone with these biological markers becomes a serial killer. Many individuals with similar brain abnormalities or neurochemical imbalances lead normal, non-violent lives. This suggests that intervention and support can play a significant role in mitigating these risks. Rehabilitation programs, community support groups, and educational initiatives aimed at early intervention can help individuals manage their impulses and develop healthier coping mechanisms. By addressing both the biological and environmental factors, society can work towards preventing the emergence of violent behaviors. In conclusion, while some may have a biological predisposition towards violence, it is the combination of genetic, environmental, and social factors that ultimately shapes their actions. Understanding this complex interplay can help us develop more effective strategies for prevention and rehabilitation, offering hope for a safer future. While biology may lay the groundwork, it is the interplay of psychological factors that shapes the landscape of a serial killer's mind. The human psyche is a complex and intricate web of thoughts, emotions, and experiences, and when this web is disrupted, it can lead to devastating consequences. Understanding these psychological factors is crucial in unraveling the mystery behind the making of a serial killer. Early childhood experiences, particularly those involving trauma, abuse, and neglect, can leave lasting scars on the developing psyche. These formative years are critical in shaping an individual's personality and worldview. When a child is subjected to physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, it can create deep psychological wounds that may never fully heal. Neglect, too, can be just as damaging, as it deprives the child of the necessary emotional support and security needed for healthy development. These experiences can warp an individual's perception of the world, leading to feelings of powerlessness, anger, and a profound disconnect from others. A child who grows up in an environment of constant fear and instability may develop a distorted view of reality, seeing the world as a hostile and threatening place. This can result in a deep-seated anger and resentment towards society, which may manifest in violent and destructive behavior later in life. Many serial killers exhibit signs of severe personality disorders, particularly antisocial personality disorder, or ASPD, characterized by a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others. Individuals with ASPD often have a history of conduct disorder in childhood, displaying behaviors such as aggression towards people and animals, destruction of property, deceitfulness, and serious violations of rules. Individuals with ASPD often lack empathy and remorse, are manipulative and deceitful, and engage in reckless and irresponsible behavior. They may be charming and charismatic on the surface, but this is often a facade used to manipulate and exploit others for their own gain. Their inability to form genuine emotional connections with others makes it easier for them to commit heinous acts without feeling guilt or remorse. Another common trait among serial killers is psychopathy. While similar to ASPD, Psychopathy is considered a more severe form of the disorder, with additional traits such as a lack of fear and anxiety, and a greater propensity for violence. Psychopaths are often highly intelligent and skilled at mimicking normal human emotions, making them particularly dangerous and difficult to detect. Psychopaths are characterized by a lack of empathy and remorse, superficial charm, glibness, a grandiose sense of self-worth, and a propensity for manipulation and deceit. They are often described as cold-blooded, due to their ability to commit violent acts without any emotional response. Their superficial charm and charisma can make them appear normal, even likable to those around them, allowing them to blend in seamlessly with society. Unlike individuals with ASPD, who may experience some level of guilt or anxiety, psychopaths are often completely devoid of emotional depth, viewing others as mere objects to be exploited for their own gratification. This emotional detachment allows them to commit acts of extreme violence without hesitation or remorse. Understanding the psychological factors that contribute to the development of a serial killer is essential in preventing and addressing these behaviors. By identifying and intervening in the early stages of psychological disturbance, it may be possible to prevent the escalation of these behaviors into full-blown psychopathy and serial violence.